In the dimly lit room, a lone investigator sits surrounded by ancient artifacts that seem to hold the weight of centuries. The air is thick with the smell of aged wood and the echoes of forgotten whispers. These artifacts, each with a history steeped in the macabre, have found their way into the possession of a small, obscure museum. The curator, Adam, had always been fascinated by the eerie allure of cursed objects. One day, he stumbles upon an auction where a collection of such artifacts is up for grabs. Unable to resist the allure, he acquires them, unknowingly opening a gateway to the supernatural. As the artifacts settle into their new home, strange occurrences begin to unfold. Visitors report a chilling feeling of being watched, and shadows seem to dance in the periphery of their vision. The artifacts, seemingly innocuous during the day, take on a sinister aura as night falls. The first tale unfolds with a weathered, ornate mirror. Legend has it that those who gaze into its reflection see not their own faces but a distorted, malevolent version of themselves. Soon, reports of sleepless nights and haunting nightmares grip the small town. The second artifact, an ancient locket, carries with it a tragic love story. As it finds its way around the neck of unsuspecting visitors, ghostly apparitions of a forlorn couple appear in the corners of photographs taken within the museum. The climax approaches when Adam, unable to ignore the mounting terror, decides to investigate further. He discovers an old journal hidden within the museum's archives, detailing the dark pasts of each artifact. It becomes clear that these objects were once intertwined with malevolent forces, leaving a trail of suffering in their wake. As Adam delves deeper, the artifacts seem to react to his curiosity. Shadows materialize into ominous shapes, and the temperature in the room drops drastically. The mirror's malevolent version of himself becomes more defined, and the locket's ghostly couple manifests, pleading for release from their eternal torment. In a race against time, Adam must unravel the mysteries of these cursed artifacts before the malevolent forces consume him and the small museum entirely. The echoes of the past reverberate with increasing intensity, and the line between the living and the supernatural blurs, leaving everyone involved to question the true nature of the artifacts they dared to explore. One stormy night, with thunder echoing through the museum, Adam conducts a ritual meant to break the curses binding these artifacts to the realm of the living. The atmosphere becomes charged with an otherworldly energy as he recites incantations from the ancient journal. The mirror seems to pulse with dark energy, resisting the incantations, and the ghostly couple from the locket wail mournfully. The aggressive and malevolent force that challenges Adam's resolve. As Adam persists, the artifacts fight back with a vengeful force. The room is plunged into darkness, illuminated only by flickering candlelight. Shadows detach themselves from the walls, taking on sinister shapes, and whispers of forgotten sorrows echo through the museum. In a moment of terrifying clarity, Adam realizes that breaking these curses comes at a great personal cost. The malevolent version of himself in the mirror seizes the opportunity, breaking free and merging with his reflection. Now, the mirror becomes a gateway between the living and the malevolent realm. The locket's ghostly couple intensifies their plea for release, reaching out towards Adam. The room is in chaos, with unseen forces clashing and the temperature dropping to an icy chill. With a final desperate incantation, Adam manages to sever the connection between the cursed artifacts and the supernatural forces. The malevolent energy dissipates, leaving the artifacts dormant once more. The mirror reflects only his own tired and terrified face, and the locket grows still. As the storm outside subsides, the museum returns to an uneasy calm. Adam, drained and shaken, gazes at the artifacts, contemplating the thin line between curiosity and the supernatural. The tales of cursed artifacts, now subdued, echo through the museum as a warning to those who dare to unlock the secrets of the past. In the aftermath of the supernatural ordeal, Adam decides to lock away the cursed artifacts in a specially designed room, hoping to contain their malevolent energies. The once thriving museum now becomes an eerie place, known for its haunted collection and the cautionary tales that linger within its walls. As the months pass, Adam grapples with the residual effects of the encounter. Strange occurrences continue to haunt him, faint whispers in the dead of night, fleeting shadows at the edge of his vision, and an unshakable feeling that the cursed artifacts still yearn for a connection with the living. Curiosity, however, remains a powerful force. Unable to resist the pull of the artifacts, Adam finds himself drawn back to the museum, compelled to revisit the tales that once terrified him. The artifacts, seemingly dormant, still exude an unsettling energy. During one late-night visit, Adam discovers an ancient tome hidden within the museum's archives, a forgotten grimoire that sheds light on the nature of the artifacts. The book speaks of a ritual, a binding ceremony that can permanently sever the connection between cursed objects and the supernatural forces that bind them. Driven by a mixture of fear and determination, Adam decides to undertake the ritual. The process is intricate and dangerous, requiring precise incantations and the use of rare, arcane ingredients. As he progresses through the ritual, the museum itself seems to rebel against the attempt to break the ancient curses. The air thickens with an oppressive energy, and the temperature drops dramatically. Unearthly howls and disembodied whispers surround Adam as he confronts the malevolent forces tied to the cursed artifacts. Shadows coil and writhe, resisting the ritual's power. In a climactic moment, as Adam completes the final incantation, a blinding light envelopes the room. The artifacts tremble, emitting an otherworldly glow before subsiding into stillness. The malevolent forces, now weakened, retreat into the shadows, leaving behind a museum that is no longer a vessel for the supernatural. Exhausted but victorious, Adam emerges from the ordeal changed. The haunted museum is now a relic of the past, its cursed artifacts stripped of their ominous powers. As the sun rises on a new day, Adam gazes at the now inert objects, contemplating the fine line between curiosity and the dangers that lie beyond. In the aftermath of the ritual, the museum stands silent, no longer echoing with the malevolent whispers of its haunted past. Adam, having confronted the supernatural forces head-on, emerges with a newfound understanding of the delicate balance between curiosity and the unseen realms. With the cursed artifacts now rendered inert, the once haunted museum begins a slow process of transformation. Adam, guided by a sense of responsibility, decides to keep the artifacts safely locked away, ensuring that they never again have the chance to unleash their dark forces. Adam stands outside the museum, watching as the sun casts its warm light on the building. The shadows of the past, though still present, are now dormant. The once haunted museum becomes a symbol of resilience, a testament to the courage required to face the unknown. In the heart of the decaying city of Ravenhest, where shadows whispered of forgotten sins and the moonlight held secrets, a dilapidated mansion stood untouched by time. Once a grand ballroom hosting opulent masquerades, it had fallen into disrepair. The locals spoke of the Blood Moon Masquerade, a cursed event that occurred once every century when the moon turned a sinister shade of red. As the ominous night approached, a group of friends, drawn by tales of forbidden decadence and hidden pleasures, decided to explore the forgotten mansion. The moon cast an eerie glow over the crumbling facade as they approached, the air thick with a palpable sense of dread. Inside, the ballroom lay frozen in time, adorned with tattered draperies and shattered mirrors reflecting the ghosts of dances long past. The friends donned masks discovered in the dusty corners, each mask possessing an uncanny resemblance to their own faces. As the clock struck midnight, the grand chandeliers flickered to life, casting an ethereal glow on the worn dance floor. A haunting melody echoed through the air, luring the group into an otherworldly waltz. Shadows moved with a life of their own, and the masked revelers seemed to glide across the floor, dancing to a tune only they could hear. As the night unfolded, the friends realized that the masks held a sinister power. Those who wore them found their true selves consumed by a malevolent force, and the ballroom transformed into a surreal nightmare. The guests, now unmasked, revealed ghastly visages that reflected their innermost fears and darkest secrets. The blood moon ascended in the sky, casting an ominous glow through the shattered windows. The once celebratory atmosphere twisted into a macabre carnival of horrors. Spectral figures emerged from the shadows, whispering tales of forbidden desires and sins that stain the mansion's history. The friends desperately tried to escape the now nightmarish masquerade, but the doors and windows were sealed shut. The ghostly revelers closed in, their hollow eyes gleaming with malevolence. The haunting melody reached a crescendo, and the friends were ensnared in a grotesque dance with the spirits of the past. As the clock struck 3, the mansion trembled with a final, mournful note. The blood moon faded, and the ghostly figures retreated into the shadows, leaving the friends disoriented and gasping for breath. The masks fell away, revealing the horror-stricken faces beneath. The friends stumbled out of the haunted mansion, their hearts pounding in sync with the lingering echoes of the blood moon masquerade. The night air was thick with an unsettling stillness as they found themselves on the outskirts of Ravenhest, the city that bore witness to centuries of forgotten tales. Haunted by the horrors of the masquerade, the friends decided to unravel the mysteries that bound the mansion and the cursed city together. Research led them to an ancient library, where dusty tomes whispered of a malevolent pact made during a lunar eclipse centuries ago. The pages spoke of a secret society that held the blood moon masquerade to appease vengeful spirits, trading innocent souls for dark favors. The mansion, they discovered, was a gateway between the realms, allowing the spirits to manifest and claim their due. Determined to break the curse, the friends delved deeper, seeking guidance from a reclusive historian known as the Watcher of Shadows. They found the mysterious figure in a hidden chamber beneath the library, surrounded by ancient relics and guarded by a spectral guardian. The Watcher, an enigmatic figure cloaked in shadows, revealed the only way to sever the curse, a ritual that required facing the spirits within the mansion and convincing them to break the pact. Armed with newfound knowledge and guided by the Watcher, the friends returned to the mansion as the next blood moon loomed overhead. The mansion welcomed them with an ominous stillness, its walls echoing with the memories of the cursed masquerades. The friends navigated the spectral dance floor, encountering tormented spirits trapped in a never-ending waltz. Each step brought them closer to the heart of the mansion, where a ghostly figure awaited, the orchestrator of the cursed ritual. As the clock struck midnight, the mansion trembled, and the spirits intensified their ethereal dance. The friends confronted the ghostly figure, who revealed the tragic tale behind the blood moon masquerade, a tale of betrayal, revenge, and an unending cycle of suffering. With words that echoed through the ages, the friends pleaded with the spirits to release their hold on Ravenhest. The mansion quivered as the spirits hesitated, torn between centuries of anguish and the hope for redemption. The spectral dance floor slowed, and the mansion's walls seemed to exhale a collective sigh. As the last chime of midnight echoed, the spirits yielded, their vengeful forms dissipating into the shadows. The mansion, once a vessel of torment, crumbled into dust, leaving behind an empty space beneath the fading blood moon. Ravenhest, released from the shackles of the curse, slowly began to rebuild itself. The friends, forever changed by their harrowing ordeal, left the city behind, carrying the weight of the masquerade's secrets. Yet, as they ventured into the moonlit night, whispers of gratitude echoed in the wind. The spirits, finally at peace, had found solace in the sacrifice of the blood moon masquerade. And so, the city of Ravenhest, bathed in the glow of a receding blood moon, began a tentative journey towards redemption, leaving behind the haunted echoes of a cursed legacy. Along the desolate stretches of Route 66, where the asphalt meets the horizon under the eerie glow of the moon, a legend whispers through the howling wind. Travelers share chilling tales of a phantom hitchhiker, a specter that haunts the forsaken highway, luring unsuspecting souls to an otherworldly fate. It was a cold and moonless night when Alex, a weary traveler, found himself alone on Route 66, surrounded by the vast emptiness of the desert. His gas gauge hovered dangerously close to empty, and the desolation seemed to seep into his bones. As he drove, the radio crackled with static, occasionally punctuated by strange whispers that sent shivers down his spine. In the distance, a dim figure appeared on the side of the road, a lone hitchhiker with a tattered coat and a pale face obscured by shadows. Despite the chill in the air, the hitchhiker wore no shoes, and his outstretched arms seemed to beckon Alex closer. Against his better judgment, Alex slowed down and cautiously rolled down his window. The hitchhiker climbed into the back seat without a word. The air inside the car grew colder, and an unsettling silence settled between them. Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. He stole glances at the rearview mirror, catching glimpses of the hitchhiker's face, which remained hidden in darkness. As they continued down the desolate road, the hitchhiker spoke in a hauntingly hollow voice, recounting tales of lost souls and tragic accidents on Route 66. His stories painted vivid images of ghostly apparitions and vanishing travelers who succumbed to the curse of the phantom hitchhiker. Each word sent a chill down Alex's spine, but he couldn't bring himself to interrupt. As the miles passed, the atmosphere in the car became increasingly suffocating. The hitchhiker's stories grew more sinister, and Alex's surroundings seemed to warp and distort. The road itself became a twisted labyrinth, with no end in sight. Panic gripped him, and he demanded the hitchhiker reveal his true identity. With a malevolent grin, the hitchhiker turned to face Alex. Hollow eyes gleamed in the darkness, and his form seemed to dissolve into a shadowy mist. The car's engine sputtered, and the headlights flickered, plunging them into darkness. Suddenly, the car came to a screeching halt. Alex found himself alone, surrounded by the deafening silence of the desolate highway. The phantom hitchhiker had vanished, leaving nothing but an icy chill in the air. Terrified, Alex stepped out into the cold night, the sound of his footsteps echoing through the emptiness. As Alex stood on the side of the road, the wind carried with it an eerie wail, as if the highway itself mourned the souls lost to the phantom hitchhiker. The abandoned car, now a mere silhouette in the darkness, served as a haunting reminder of the encounter that defied explanation. Driven by an inexplicable sense of dread, Alex began to walk along the deserted road. The landscape stretched out in all directions, the vastness of the desert amplifying the oppressive silence. Every step echoed with the weight of uncertainty, and the flickering moon cast long shadows that danced ominously on the pavement. As the night wore on, Alex's surroundings took on an otherworldly quality. The distant murmur of the wind transformed into ghostly whispers, and the very air seemed to pulse with an ancient malevolence. Each rustle of the shrubs and distant howl of a coyote heightened the tension, turning the desert into a surreal theater of the macabre. In the distance, a dim light flickered, drawing Alex toward an old roadside motel that appeared to materialize from the darkness. The neon sign hummed eerily, casting an ominous glow on the worn-out facade. Despite an overwhelming sense of foreboding, Alex couldn't resist the allure of shelter and the possibility of answers. The motel lobby, frozen in time, creaked open as Alex cautiously entered. The air inside hung heavy with the scent of decay and abandonment. Dust-covered furniture and faded wallpaper adorned the lobby, each artifact telling a silent tale of a bygone era. The reception desk stood deserted, a registry book with pages yellowed by time. Driven by an unseen force, Alex ascended a narrow staircase that groaned beneath the weight of his footsteps. The corridor above seemed to stretch infinitely, lined with numbered doors that held secrets untold. As he reached the end of the hallway, a soft whisper echoed through the air, guiding him to a door slightly ajar. With trepidation, Alex pushed the door open to reveal a dimly lit room. A figure sat in the shadows, facing away from him. The air in the room grew colder as the figure slowly turned around, revealing a face that mirrored the phantom hitchhiker from the desolate highway. The ghostly figure spoke, recounting a tragic tale of a lost love, a fatal accident, and an eternity bound to Route 66. The room pulsated with a spectral energy, and Alex felt the weight of the stories passed down through generations, as if the very essence of the highway clung to the air. In a sudden burst of ethereal light, the room dissolved, and Alex found himself back on the deserted highway. The phantom hitchhiker stood before him, no longer a harbinger of doom but a tormented soul seeking release. With a mournful gaze, the spirit faded into the night, leaving Alex alone with the echoes of the tales that now rested on his shoulders. As dawn approached, the first rays of light illuminated Route 66, casting aside the shadows that had concealed its haunted history. Alex, forever changed by his encounter, continued his journey, haunted by the memories of the phantom hitchhiker and the mysteries that lingered on the desolate highway. The legend persisted, carried forward by those who traveled the road, a cautionary tale of the supernatural that remained etched into the very fabric of Route 66.